here's my first warning, and this video is probably going to get some dislikes because of this, because I know that some people work at dealerships or whatever, but you will never get a good deal at a dealership. Sorry, that's my opinion. This series is for people who don't have a lot of money, and I'm telling you right now, you'll never get a good deal at a dealership, because dealers have literally no incentive to sell the thing. The salesperson's going to get a little bit of a commission, but are they in a rush to sell it? No. And does it really matter if they sell it? No. I mean, you know, they're not going to go out of business if they don't sell you that one motorcycle, okay? Their life doesn't depend on it. That's why you're going to buy a used motorcycle, and you're not going to go into debt to get it, because here's another thing about dealers. Dealers know that if you have any kind of good credit, your price range is basically infinite. You can buy a motorcycle for whatever you can get from the bank. And those monthly payments are really tempting. But if you're dirt cheap and you do it smart, you're not going to get sucked into that. Basically, you're going to save up cash, and I'll have another DCAM on that. Another thing about dealerships is who works at dealerships? Motorcycle enthusiasts. Cool people usually, but people who know their stuff about motorcycles, and when it comes to haggling, they may know more about it than you do. Knowledge is power when it comes to buying a motorcycle, all right? The more you know about the motorcycle, the better deal you're gonna get. For example, if you know that on a Kawasaki KLR 650, it's probably going to have problems with the doohickey, and if they haven't done it, you can knock off a couple $100. Boom, there you go. If you know that, you know, on a DR 650, they've got some kind of a chain thing that can fly up into your engine and really screw things up, then there you go. That might save you $100. Because the truth is, you probably will have to replace that thing.
Now here's the thing, when it comes to buying from a dealership, you're not going to be able to haggle with the person at the dealership about, hey, this bike has a problem with the doohickey or the chain tensioner or whatever, because they're going to be like, no, it doesn't, because they're paid by Kawasaki or by Suzuki or by whoever to say that the bikes are perfect. So there will be almost no haggling when it comes to that. Also, people at dealerships are the authority. They know their bikes up and down, usually. And you want to be the authority when you go into the buying situation. You want to go to somebody who doesn't know a whole lot about their bike. They got scared. They want to sell it. You know, they need the money. They got bored with it, whatever. You want to find a person like that so that you can, because then you know the mechanical problems. You can kick the tires and say, hey, these need to be replaced. I need $100 off. And they'll say, all right, whatever. Just give me the cash and let's make this thing happen. And they'll be willing to negotiate with you. At a dealer, that will never happen. They might give you some incentives or a rebate or some kind of a little deal, but realistically, you're going to pay a lot more for your motorcycle just to have 0 miles on it. And truthfully, it's nice to have somebody else break it in. So my thought is, as long as that person seems competent enough to change the oil and follow the manufacturer specs to break in a bike, that's good enough. You can do all the other maintenance, and you should be the authority. Alright guys, now when it comes to going into debt to buy a motorcycle, usually from buying it from a dealership, this is the absolute most critical thing, because everybody has financial crunches in their life. If you're listening to me right now about dirt cheap adventure motorcycling, chances are you don't have a lot of money. You're going to need to save money for your motorcycle. Now this is the bank's worst enemy, it's the dealership's worst enemy, because once you have cash, you have more buying power, and you don't need to get a loan to do that. Now here is the trick of a loan, okay? When crap hits the fan and you have no more money and you have something that must be bought, the rent is due or school loans are due or whatever, you're going to go to jail if you don't pay the freaking tax man or something like that, the very first thing to go is the non-essentials. And what is the first thing that's going to go? It's going to be your motorcycle, because it's a big asset that you can dump quickly. And you need to remember that when you're buying a used motorcycle too, is that people who need money right now, what's the first thing they're going to sell? Their motorcycle. They're not going to eBay their big screen TV because they use it every day. But say they're kind of casual motorcycle riders, the motorcycle's going first. So you guys don't go into debt to buy a motorcycle, because to get out of that debt, to relieve that debt burden, guess what the easiest thing to do is? It's to sell it. If you want to get into motorcycling and stay into motorcycling, don't buy your motorcycle on credit. Buy it in cash. That way, if you do need to sell it, you can get all your money back, usually, and you're not going to take a huge hit in depreciation because you bought a brand new motorcycle. And when you sell it, you're not going to take a huge hit because the only money you've been paying towards it is interest. Basically, it is equity, and when you sell it, you will usually get your cash back. If you buy it right, you might even be able to make money on your motorcycles, which I have always made money selling motorcycles. Whenever I've bought a motorcycle, I've always made money when I've sold it.